Hey everybody, I'm Rod Thompson.
And I'm Trish Thompson.
And we are two old farts. I finally got Trish to start saying it. You know, what's great about this is we're getting a lot of response from people, and we kind of feel obligated that every now and then some of the problems we've gone through we want to share with you guys. And one of the problems we went through recently was hearing. Trish, many years ago, you had an operation, didn't you, hon?
I did. And it didn't really do the job. I wasn't really able to hear as good as I wish I could have afterwards.
And then didn't it just get worse year after year?
Yeah.
Because it got to the point where she could hardly hear me. You know, I would come in the house and it would scare the fire out of her because I would walk in the kitchen and she would just jump.
Because I didn't hear you coming in.
Because she didn't hear me coming in. So we decided to look into hearing aids. Well, we found out, minimum $2,500 for a hearing aid. That's ridiculous, and Medicare won't pay for it. So we got to looking around, and one Sunday we saw something on 60 Minutes, didn't we?
We did.
And what did you think about that?
Well, I thought it was a good idea. I didn't know how good it would do.
60 Minutes did a piece on hearing aids, and they basically told us, look, you're not allowed to call it a hearing aid unless you go through certain channels and go through doctors. So that we realized the same thing they were selling as hearing aids can also be sold as amplification devices. And I don't even remember what the official name for it was. But we basically went on and found for $285 the same exact hearing aid that they were selling for $2,000 elsewhere through Vanderbilt and those other expensive places. And now I'm not saying this is right for everybody, but with minor hearing loss and not a lot of problems, this felt like the right thing for us. So we tried it.
But I will say this, the audiologist that checked me at Vanderbilt did say that sometimes you can lose your hearing because you have a tumor or something major like that.
That's right.
Which I didn't. So there's that little issue that using the
hearing
device,
you don't have as much supervision.
Right. And so if it needs to be, your hearing loss is something more than just hearing loss as a tumor, you do need to go see.
So do your due diligence is what Trish is telling us, and neither one of us are physicians. We're not telling you that you should do what we're doing. All we're telling you is what we did. We saved a whole lot of money, and now Trish has a hearing aid that she really likes. Mm-hmm. So we went onto the Google sphere, and we found a thing called Otofonix. It's basically
Otofonix.
Okay, Otofonix. Let's see, because it's somewhere where it can be in focus. Anyway, Otofonix, and to our surprise, it looked just like a regular hearing aid. And not only that, when Trish has it in, you can't tell she's wearing a hearing aid. There's nothing here that shows. Mm-hmm. Why don't you take it out and show it to them? Take it out. Now there it is. There's the hearing aid. I'm just going to hold it over here so that the camera can pick it up. This is the hearing. In fact, let's put it down right here so we can get some close-ups of it. There's the hearing aid. This is a little device that goes behind your ear. This part goes behind your ear, and then this part goes inside your ear.
It's right at the opening of the canal.
And it's really easy to use. We took it out of the box, and the instructions were about that long in big print. It was really easy to stick it in her ear and try it for the first time. And it's nice because it only has one button. One button does everything.
Mm-hmm. It increases the volume.
That's right. And you keep pushing it and the volume keeps going up. And then when you push it to the highest level, it jumps back down to the first level. So that way you don't have to remember, push up, down, anything like that. You just keep pushing it until it's the right level for your hearing.
And at night you open this up so that you don't keep using your battery. It's like this.
Yeah, you open that up like that. And then that way, by opening up like that, you are no longer using battery. So, bottom line is, it's a wonderful little device. There might be a day when we have to go through regular channels and get regular hearing aids, but for now, this was the perfect thing for us. We're going to put a link down in the description for you so that you guys can try this too. I want to give it back to Trish. Go ahead and put it back in your ear. Show them how easy it is to put that in your ear.
After working for a while, working with it, you can do it real easy.
And it kind of whistles a little bit as she's putting it in, but then it settles down.
Yeah.
How does it, I've noticed this, how does it work for you? Are you happy with it on a rating scale of 1 to 5, say?
I don't know, maybe 8 or 9. I mean, it's.
Well, if the scale is 1 to 5, then it's got to be between 1 and 5. So.
Oh, I thought you said 1 and 10. Sorry. Well, I give it a 4.
Okay,
Yeah.
4 out of 5. That's pretty darn good. It works like they advertise that it's supposed to work. Now, what about? Have you noticed a difference when you and I are talking at like a table in a restaurant?
Yeah. I had trouble with that kind of sound, like a group of people and a lot of people talking, even though it wasn't loud.
It was hard to pick out a conversation. And so now, and she doesn't have to make any adjustments. She just goes in and it naturally does its job. So she hears even in a noisy situation, right?
Much
now,
better.
what about movies? You notice any different in movies?
Well, it's a little bit clearer. Yes, it is.
I noticed watching TV, I don't have to turn the TV up near as loud anymore.
That's right. That's right.
And I also noticed that I can do something I never could do before. I can whisper in her left ear. I could not do that. That's one of the first things we tried when we got this thing, when we got it out of the box. One of the first things we tried was after she put it in, I whispered in her ear with it not in her ear, and she couldn't hear a thing. And then I whispered in her ear with it turned on. Big difference.
Yeah, it was. The low sounds were hard, but now they're there. They're more clear.
So that's what we wanted to talk to you a little bit about. So 20 Farts highly recommends the Otofonix hearing aid. We haven't tried any others, so it's not like a test that's scientific or anything. It's just that we've been very happy with this product. And you've been using it now for how long?
I can't remember.
It's about a month or 2, I think, something like that.
At least.
Yeah.
At least 2
So
months.
yeah,
Maybe.
and none of her friends even notice it. You know, it's not like anybody said, "Hey, I see you're wearing a hearing aid."
It's a clear tube, so
Yeah.
you don't really,
That's
see
right.
it.
So we're real happy with that. Now, that's today's our little adventure for the day. So from 20 Farts, God bless you, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.
And it's always an adventure.